Welcome to our presentation of our opening sequence. We are Dave & Co Productions. So we're going with an action thriller with a mix between a psychological as well, because we think that it'll be better when we combine them both. It just makes it work.
And surveys have shown.
Yes, surveys have also shown.
The survey that I did of 97 people, it was pretty much a split between psychological and action for the top two.
So we thought we'd merge them. Yeah, so we're going with an age rating of around 15, which gives us a larger target audience, because if we restrict ourselves to 18 and above, we're not going to have many viewers, because most, and as well on the surveys, they preferred a lower age rating.
Yeah, the majority of people were the age 15.
Yeah.
The film will start off with a few credits, so we'll have production companies, distribution companies, directors and stuff like that. And this will mostly be on a black screen with the logos or text, whatever will come up. And the music will slowly start fading in, and it'll be very a mysterious kind of theme. And this will be about only maybe 15-20 seconds, and it will go to a black screen. It'll fade in, and we'll have an establishing shot of a staircase from the very top, and it'll be looking down, and all you'll hear is the music until this door screeches in, and screeches open, and you hear this person walking in, and you'll just hear him walk through, and it'll only be a view of his feet. And then we'll use this as time to display stuff like the screenplays and actors and stuff like that. And it won't exactly be like this, but the camera, he'll stop for a second and the camera will slowly start panning up. And it'll usually be around his waist height, maybe stomach height, and it will scratch to a flashback.
For this stairs scene, we're going to have the character all shot in first person, so we're going to be using a GoPro for that. And the reason for the first person view is so that when he goes into these flashbacks or intrusive thoughts, that you really feel like you're experiencing the true horror of them. And so the thoughts can be something of the character being tied up, or the character killing someone, or just pretty horrific stuff. And after these flashbacks, it will cut out of first person and will show him either falling to his knees or making really hurtful noises. And it will never show his face, or it will only show below the chest.
So it creates that sense of mystery. We don't know who this character is. You are the character. The audience is the character.
Yeah, and you're fully immersed in his mind.
He'll walk up and he'll go to a door, so it's like an apartment building from it. He'll go into the door, and on the floor he will see this woman. She's all glammed up and stuff, but she's lying in a pool of blood from it, so we know that she's obviously dead. When you're first person, so it would then pan round to a cabinet on the side, so when you walk in it'll be there, and on there it would be a picture. It would be a picture of a man and the woman. The woman will be the same one on the floor. What we want to suggest is this picture's on a wedding day, so it's their apartment, so it's your person, so you're married to this woman from it. You'll realise that as the camera, it will pan down and his hands will be covered in blood from it, so it's you've murdered this woman from it. The camera will then pan back up and look at the woman. There will now be a rose, the woman will be holding, so it's in a pharaoh death stance, when they put him into the sarcophagus. Yeah.
Something like that.
Holding it there, so she'll be holding the rose. The rose will then start to decay and the petals will fall off. The camera will zoom into a petal, the titles will then roll up, and then it'll go to a black screen. The title we've come up with is Crimson Rose. We can add variations and stuff to it.
It's a working title.
Crimson for red and stuff, the blood. Rose, it will hint at the rose that the woman's holding, that what we want to imply is the woman's name's Rose from it, so there's like the double meanings there and stuff from it. So yeah. So yeah, that's a basic plot for opening.
Oh,
So,
I forgot to mention one thing. The red text you see in these things, they symbolize where maybe like the text will be going.
As in the credits.
Yeah, the credits.
I really like the way you laid it out. It's very clear as an audience member to watch, like to understand what's going through. So you know, do you guys own like one? You guys own a GoPro, or are you gonna?
Yeah.
You see how the beginning it's like a view from the top of the stairs and then a view of the his legs. How would you like switch that to a POV?
Oh, the first person starts for the flashbacks only, and then there's going to be a few more flashbacks, and then this part's going to be in the flashback.
we that bit is in a flashback.
Oh, okay.
The whole process of it being in
Not
like first person, and where we never see their like face when it's the outside thing, is because it wouldn't break the illusion from it. Because if we were to see the face, it would be a bit disorientated from it. But yeah, it would just start on the flashback, first person.
So is the antagonist, the murderer, is he the husband that we see in the wedding photograph?
Yes.
Yes.
So when is that revealed to the audience?
You won't see his face.
So we don't know that
Yeah,
it's her
it's-
husband that's killed her.
Well,
We
yeah,
tried to-
it's not necessarily like. It's all sort of implied, but it could be.
It could be shown if
Yeah.
above the cabinet we see the person's face, like the camera looks into the mirror and somehow we just see the actor there, and then it matches the thing from it.
And you'll make it obvious to the audience then that that person is the person in the actual wedding photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll construct a wedding photograph to make it convincing?
Yeah. It might have like the names of like Bob and Rose on it or something.
In a large
And
font
then
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Some like where it could be like his name's like written on his hand or something. So
Tattoo.
yeah, the character's kind of like messed up, so it could be like my name's Bob or whatever, just to remind himself of reality and bring him back to that.
One point the whole point of this part is this will set up for the rest of the film, where it will be going back in time to basically tell the audience the story of how he got to this very scene, and the ending of this thing will come back to this kind of scene, and it will basically finish it and tell how he got there, and whether if he is the one that murdered or he's the one that's getting framed.
So basically, our plot's taking a cyclical approach to the narrative. So we kind of return back to the stuff at the end, but we show what happens, so the audience wants to see what happens to get to this point. If you get, so that they have to watch the entire film to get to this original spot.
So the mystery isn't who kills her, because we know that,
It's how it happens.
and why it happens.
And why,
Is that
yeah.
what you want the audience to keep watching to find out? Technical question. You're going to have a rose that she's clutching, lying there dead, but she's got a rose that's been placed on her after she's been murdered, presumably. So she's been murdered, and then she's laid out with the rose like this?
When he walks in and he like sees it, it isn't there to begin with, but when he looks at the photo and then looks back, then the
The
rose,
rose
is
is
there.
there.
from it.
Okay, that's interesting. And then you said you want to show the rose actually decaying.
Yeah, just like petals falling off from
That's how does that link in? And A, how are you going to achieve it? B, is that going to make it look a bit supernatural? Because a rose doesn't literally wilt as you watch it. With
It's
petals
his
falling off.
imagination we're gonna pretend like it's his imagination seeing the rose, because it's not actually there. Because
So that's part of his sort
Yeah,
of
his-
condition, his mental
Yeah.
condition. So would you find a way then technically of showing the difference to the audience as to what's in his mind and what we're actually watching? Is that the difference between, excuse me if I'm being slow to pick this up,
No, we're
is that the
thinking-
difference between the tracking shots and what's in his mind?
We're thinking of using maybe color saturation as well to show differences. So there might be slight different coloring in what is reality and what is what he's imagining.
So there's the reality that everybody else sees, and then there's the reality that
He
sees.
sees.
Okay, that's interesting, yeah. Group 7, thank you very much.